Good afternoon. Cheryl Connor here, coming to you from the Blue Ridge Mountains in Western North Carolina. Today's message is about receiving. Receiving. We've had a lot of programming about receiving in our culture. Worth reflecting on the program and whether or not it serves us. We're taught that giving is better than receiving. That's interesting. In fact, in my family, my grandmother, if you told her you were going to give her something, she would say, "Oh no, don't, please, please don't." Now, I don't know if she really didn't want us to give or if she was following some conditioning she had that she didn't need anything, or that it was not okay to receive anything because she should be okay the way she is, or that if she liked such a thing you gave her, maybe she'd be perceived as materialistic. All these different little levels of why receiving was discouraged as compared to giving. But the reality is you can't have a giving without a receiving. There has to be a receptive principle if there's an active principle involved, right? The canvas, you can't be a painter without paint. And if the paint's the act, if the artist and the painter are the active principles, you need a canvas to receive the paint. So the fact is, I've just explored how in my own life, some of my unconscious programming about giving and receiving is coming up for question. Are you supposed to be okay without receiving anymore? Or do you believe you're worthy of really receiving? And what does it say about certain stigmas that were attached to wanting or having and to material things? But the fact is that receiving is relevant to so many levels of our existence. If you walk into the woods, in order to really feel the connection to the energy of the woods, to the trees, to the oneness, to that special energy we feel, you have to be enough in the presence that you can actually receive that woods energy. If your mind is thinking about your to-do list or what you have to do in 20 minutes when you get back into the car, you may not be receiving the gift of presence of the forest to you. Similarly, receiving has to do with receiving intuitions and spiritual insights. You may need some advice about that book you're writing or how to handle that errand son or daughter. But rather than picking up 5 books on parenting, could you be quiet for half an hour and meditate on what would be the wisest course for being of benefit in that situation? So the ability to receive insights and intuitions into our consciousness is again this receptive, receiving energy. So at every level, whether it's material, relational, that is in human relationships, or with the planet, or with the energies beyond the visible, it's actually a important capacity to be able to receive. Some people are really great at it. They don't have any obstacles. And you may write something down below about where you have obstacles receiving or where it's easy and where it's not. And just say, how could I relax more into receiving in any of these categories? So I encourage you to look at what kind of programming you got about giving and receiving. Are you equally comfortable at both and in every aspect of your life? The material, the emotional, and the spiritual. So I hope you have a great week. And if anything is given to you, whether it's an experience or a thing or a compliment, take pleasure, take your time, and receive. Thank you. Have a great week.